My name is Brittany Hiller, your host, and today I bring you Rachelle Grant. She is an intuitive teacher, healer, and life coach who works with the angelic realm. And her connection to the infinite is apparent through her warmth and radiance. Rachelle's angelic approach and soul-to-soul connections invoke positive change and healing. She is a Doreen Virtue certified angel intuitive and angel card reader, as well as a metaphysical practitioner, ordained minister, and integrative nutrition health coach. And I welcome you, Rachelle. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Brittany.
Absolutely. It is a pleasure for you to be here. And I love the work that you do, and I'm so excited because tonight you have an amazing workshop coming on to Lyman Lotus in Charleston. And you're going to be having a few more of them, so that's really exciting to hear, and we can't wait to be able to go and connect with you on those levels of your workshops. But today, I want to dive in and ask, because with this conscious community television, what I'm looking for is just basically the people who are waking up into the world and understanding that they are bigger than they may think they are, and that we're not necessarily having to live a life where we're robotically going through the world and having to listen to our big people and society, but instead that we really truly can create the world that which we want to live in. And so what you do is really awesome by utilizing the angels and helping us with that. So the first one that I want to ask you about is, in your opinion, what does it mean to live consciously within the world?
Okay, so to me, to live consciously in the world, it has to do a lot with being true to yourself, knowing that you are so powerful and you have the ability to create your own reality. And so however your life is, whether you say it's good or bad, just know that you created it. And knowing that, you can come from a place of power and say, if it's great, I love it, then keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track. But if for whatever reason there's something that you feel is missing or something you want to have different, own that too and say, okay, great, I created it. Now let me change it up and create something different so I can have the amazing life that I want.
Absolutely, and it sounds so easy, and so many people think it's so difficult sometimes. I know I'm one of them. I'll be like, I thought I was using everything I needed to, and now it's like, what's happening? So it really is just connecting with that abundance.
It really is, because when things aren't going the way that you want or things seem to be a struggle, it's just because there's a better path that you could be taking. Mm-hmm. So that resistance is there as a blessing to help you know, okay, wait a second, let me check in and see what's going on and take this opportunity to course correct and see if there's a better way.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really great way to look at it, too. It's a blessing instead of, oh, why is this happening to me? You know, a torture. Instead, it's a blessing. Beautiful. So another thing I want to ask, because of what you do, how can we access the angels to better serve our lives?
Well, angels are everywhere, and so the easiest way to access is to ask them. One thing that we have is the ability to have free will, so we can choose whatever it is that we want. And the only way that, even though the angels know better ways for us to be living, what will make us happier, bring us more joy, have more abundance in our life, everything, they can only sit and watch or stand and watch until we ask for their help. Mm-hmm. The only exception to the rule is if our life is in danger before it's our time to go. So other than that, they just have to wait. So as simple as it seems, ask for help. And it's great because you can ask, you can think about it, you can write to them, you can visualize it, or you can affirm it. It doesn't matter. They're here ready to go. So just ask and see what happens.
Yeah. So do you think that for some of us there's a different way to connect with them easier? Like for some of us it's through writing, through some of us it's through verbally asking and listening and meditation, or do you think that all of those ways can possibly help for all of us?
All of the ways can help for all of us. However, there's no need to master every single one of them. Nice. It's basically, the point is ask for help. Mm-hmm. So as long as you're doing it in whatever way works for you, sometimes it might be yelling and saying, help me, I can't find my keys, I'm going to be late for work. And then take a moment to stop and listen, rather than frantically moving around trying to find your keys, mm-hmm. for instance. Because they'll guide you to where it is immediately. So basically, it might be thinking about help. It might be writing it, whatever it is. It doesn't matter how you ask. It's just that you do.
Awesome. Thanks. Very cool. And we had discussed earlier a really, really cool thing about how, you know, noticing and learning that sometimes we have to learn lessons through the things that we were going through, and that necessarily the angels are helping us, but we're not really getting the lesson. So we continue to go through the same path over and over. Can you touch on that a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. And we came into this world, when we came into the world to incarnate, we decided on lessons that we wanted to learn. And one of the lessons that I got to learn was how to be in my power and come from that point of strength. Similar to what you were saying, what I believe conscious living is like. And I was working for a boss who I was just miserable working with. I felt like I was always getting picked on. I was the bottom person on the totem pole. I could never do anything right. And so I stuck it out as long as I could, and then I couldn't do it anymore. So I quit, and I got another job. And I thought, okay, that part of my life is over with. And shortly after I got hired at this new job, I realized I had the new employer with a similar personality. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
I thought I was done with this. And once again, it was the same thing of, oh, things aren't going right for me. I feel like I'm getting picked on. I'm working harder than I need to, yet I'm not getting recognized. Somebody does something small, they get huge praise. Mm-hmm. I do something huge, and it's like, oh, okay. And so I was like, so I stuck it out and then for a while, and then I said, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm going to move on to something else. And so I quit that job, and I ended up going to the third job. And lo and behold, there was a similar type of personality I had as a boss. And finally, I was like, wait a second. How can this be? How is it that I have 3 separate employers and the same thing is happening? The first time, and maybe the second time, it was all about them, what they were doing to me. The third time, I was like, okay, wait a second. What's going on here? What's my lesson? And just by thinking that, I literally thought, what's my lesson? I was able to get answers back. Because even though my angels saw all the time what was going on and everything I was missing, just having that thought of, okay, what's the lesson, rather than it being like, it's all about them, they're doing this to me.
Right.
So I was able to learn a lesson to watch my thoughts. If I think something's going to go badly, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Mm-hmm. If I look down upon myself or judge myself in harsh ways, I'm going to attract people who are going to judge me the same way I judge myself, because they're mirroring back to me how I'm viewing the world. And so once I got that in check, and I was able to say, okay, wait a second, how am I creating this? What am I learning here? And saying, okay, you know what? If I treat myself better, if I focus on my positive strengths, or I'm even going to loving myself, which is something I'm still learning, I'm going to naturally attract people that are going to do that for me because they're mirroring back the change.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's so true. And it's so often that we just think that we're, all by ourselves, and that we don't actually utilize those that are right in front of us, all of the the little tidbits that are right in front of us. That's awesome.
Right, and we have so much help out there. And so, I mean, angels for everything. Like I said, referencing with finding the keys, but it could be bigger things in life, like finding a great place to live, or meeting new friends, having a meaningful career, meeting the love of your life, and having an incredible relationship. All of it. They're here to help us. We just have to ask.
Yay! I'm like, it's so easy, but it just seems so difficult when we are just, not open to it. So thank you for giving that advice for us, for sure. And then also, lastly, what advice do you have to those people that are just waking up now, just understanding that they are pretty much in charge of what it is that they need to do for themselves in the world?
One is to lovingly look at their lives and be honest about what's going on, and tapping into, well, what's working for me, and then also what's not working for me. And then being willing to say, you know what, let me try a different approach. Why don't I ask for help? See what else is out there for me, because we're supposed to have amazing lives. We're here to love our existence and have joy and peace and prosperity on the planet. And so they're on their path, and to hang in there. There's speed bumps, but know that you can get over them, and that you are helped along the way.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today, Rachelle. I appreciate all that you do and for speaking with us today. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely, Brittany. Thank you for having me.
Yay! And I want all of you guys to look down below. We're going to have a great offering from Rachelle so that you can speak with her for a good 20 minutes. And in 20 minutes, you can get a lot from this woman. She's amazing. So I do want you to take advantage of the opportunities that we have for you located within this email and at the bottom of this video. And we both hope that you guys have a fantastic day. Namaste.